Hello, everybody. It's a good morning to you. I hope everybody's well today and that you're in good spirits for racing out at Durbanville. We're back at Hollywoodbets Durbanville now, the country course as they call it. And it's always a lovely stint of about, I think it's 6 to 7 weeks of back-to-back racing, which is always very good. There's our information with regards to social media. Hopefully you're part of that already. Darren Burrows and Daryl Marie are with me as always, the A team. We'll put them together and talk to them about what we need to do for this meet. Hope the weekend was a good one for everybody as we come out of what was a really fabulous classic day as part of our championships here on the Highveld. All right, we've got a favourite priced up 2-1. It's bipod time, Darren Burrows, and this was Artichino. We'll talk about that from the Brett Crawford stable. 2-1 favourite. Cotson's got Blue Holly, who's trading at 5-2, second favourite. Some might argue that perhaps Blue Holly will get it right.
Clyde, she is my first choice, to be honest. If you look at her 1,000-meter form, that is her best. And she ran second to the Charlton, who came out to win a very strong lineup next time out. When tried over 1,200 meters, she didn't seem to round her race off. So the Durbanville 1,000 from a good draw is going to be ideal. Now, Articuno, there was a lot of market support for this horse on debut, was only beaten 3 lengths by Raskova. So 2 and 3 are the leading lights, and of the rest, highly confidential. I think she can improve on her debut.
Would you, thanks Darren. Daryl, would you agree that Blue Holly may be the right one?
Yeah, I'm not going to separate the two of them, Clyde. Number 2, Blue Holly, and number 3, Articuno. You can see Blue Holly tried 1,200 in her latest 2 starts, Clyde.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to give her a chance in both of those runs. Different tactics, it didn't work out. Back in 1,000, I'm sure they're going to push forward and let her use her early toe from a good draw.
Right.
So I'll make a big runner yet today. And then Articuno, like Darren touched on, she was supported on debut. Clyde, there is a line of form with the Charleston. Now, just to touch on this, Blue Holly met the Charleston over 1,000 meters, was only beaten a length and a quarter. Over the 1,200, she was beaten 5.5 lengths.
Yeah.
That tells you that Blue Holly's better over 1,000 and she ran below par over the 1,200. Then Articuno, I don't know how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
She was beaten 2.5 lengths by the Charleston. So on a line through the Charleston, there's not much separating herself and Blue Holly.
Yeah.
We saw Winter Cloud come out and frank that form. Now she's boosted that form line of Raskova. She came out and won, and then she won the Cape of Good Hope Nursery, the grade 3. So 2 and 3, I'm happy with the 2.
Form lines have worked out on both sides,
yes.
Blue Holly and the source Artichino. So, yeah, it's interesting. They're both in the race. They're both very much alive. Here's some we've got 2 bipods here for you. So, here we go. We'll start with Daryl first, Daryl Marie. Here's his selections, and he's going as follows. On screen at the moment, there's obviously 6 legs in the bipod, and from Daryl's perspective, not bankering anything, and that's what he wants to spend this afternoon. Now, Darren Burrows is a bipod. He has got a banker in his bipod and comes up just now. This was Lily of the Nile as one of the bankers for Darren, and there's his amount that he would like to spend today. Second race on the card now. This is a maiden juvenile plate. It's over the 1,400 metres. In this event, we know that Darren's banker, this horse Lily of the Nile in the bipods, is priced up 28-10. I don't know from your perspective, Darren, if you think that's a reasonable price, if there's value or not.
It's a reasonable price, Clyde, but you know with these juveniles, they've only had 1 or 2 starts, and there could be improvement from a couple of others too. Now, she's had the 2 runs, 4th to Winter Cloud on debut, and we saw Winter Cloud follow up in a very strong juvenile race and win just the other day. Then 4 lengths off Raskova. I know that form line hasn't quite stood up yet, but she's going to love the step up in trip. And I just feel being an erupt out of a horse chestnut mare, the 14 is going to be right up her alley and probably given a nice patient ride by Grant van Niekerk. The danger could be Warm Winter Night. Now, this colt ran 7 lengths off Icy Blast on debut, moved up at the 400-meter mark and got outrun. Maybe the step up to 14 is going to suit him. So I'm going 6 to beat 1. There are others with chances.
Yeah, I like your thinking and explanation behind Lily of the Nile. I think the 7 furlongs is going to be to its liking.
Yes, Clyde, she's a half sister to Trip to Africa, who's a miler. So I think she's going to appreciate the step up in Trip, and she gets that sex allowance, the 3 kg sex allowance. She does hold Streets Have No Name, but I think Streets Have No Name is better than his later starts, and he's certainly going to love the extra. I thought he was beaten for speed on both his starts to date. I think he's got the come out look about him. So once again, I'm not going to separate the two of them. On form, one has to believe that the 6 is the better, but I don't want to separate the two of them because they are improving juveniles at different grades. Number 1, Warm Winter Night. Wasn't there a Warm Winter Night?
Charles Lead. Was it Warm Winter Night? I don't think it was.
It was just spelled differently. I think it was NIGH.
Warm Winter Night, yeah. It was a 3-barrel name. I can't remember it now. What was
anyway,
it called?
I watched his.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
I watched his debut, Clyde. He did come out slow. He moved up, but he was finding very little in the latter stages. I certainly believe he'll improve, but I don't think I saw enough to make him a winning factor over here. So I'm going to say 3 and 6 to fight it out. Obviously, the 1 does have a trifecta chance.
Well, Streets Have No Names, trading at around 7 to 2 at the moment, if you give that a bit of a chance. But Lily of the Nile is the one to beat here. Let's take a look at place accumulator for the second race. Get these PAs on. It's Daryl's, and he's bankering number 3, Streets Have No Name, in his PA by 1-4-5-7, by 2-4-6-7, by 1 and 10 in the next 2 legs. And he's going to bank a number 1 later on. He's got 1 and 10 in the 4th leg, then banker 1 later, then 1, 3, 5, and the last leg 1, 2, 3, and 4. Welcome. Let's get on to our next race on the card now. Take a look at what we're going to do now. It's time for pick 6s, of course, and let's have a look at what the plan is in this. Can we get the Durbanville, the first Durbanville pick 6? Well, we'll work it out in a minute. 1, Mary Lamb, a 7 to 2 favourite. Number 5, Go Like Flow, is trading at around 4 to 1 or thereabouts. And number 6, You Crack Me Up, is at 5 to 1. Maybe You Crack Me Up, the right one, Darren Burrows.
Well, Clyde, I heard this filly in quite a big way last time out when she was scratched because she's very temperamental down at the gates, and she managed to get away from the handler and ran the course and ran down the chute and was scratched. So she did start 6 to 10 on debut. Now, that was back in February 2022. Just about over a year off the track she's been. But she shows quality work at home, and I wouldn't be surprised to see her make a winning return. Now, you got to include Mary Lamb. She didn't quite stay a mile. If you look at her dam, Mary Lou, she was an out-and-out sprinter. And I think the drop back to 14 is going to suit. Take note, Richard Fourie not riding, and Craig Bantam has picked up the ride. Of the rest, Go Like Flow and a Karina can get involved.
Okay, so Richard Fourie not in the saddle today, and he deserves a bit of a break for whatever the reason may be. He's been working every day. It's been very hard, not easy. And Daryl, let's hear from you. Your top 2 or 3 in the betting, in the choices.
Fishing. Is he gone away fishing, or what's the story?
Perhaps, yeah, perhaps.
Yeah,
Shame if Cordy was still around, he would have gone with him.
Absolutely.
Cordy.
Clyde, this filly's going to love coming back in Trip. I think the 1400 is more favourable to her chances than the filly that beat her last time out in number 7, Anna Karina. Now, Anna Karina is only a half a kilogram worse off, so there's very, very little separating the two of them. But one has to believe that the 1400 is more in Mary Lamb's favour. If you're going to back her, I'm sure she's going to drift now because she was priced up favourite with Richard Fourie in the irons. Now Craig Bantam, no disrespect to him, but I see it's his only ride for the day, Clyde.
Interesting.
So, and Aldo de Meyer was available. But anyway, Clyde, obviously I make a live wire over here, but I think I found a bit of a sneaker in number 4, Look Forward. Now, there has been, between the rainfall and irrigation, there's been 50 mils over the past 7 days. And this trainer, Stuart, His horses really perform with this thing out of the ground. I watched her latest replay. She was given a chance from a wide draw. She was throwing her head about at the back of the field. She then went to the inside. She got balked over there and she came to the outside and she really took off. Clyde, she's only got 52 kilograms to shoulder. I'm hoping from a four draw she gets put into this race this time around, goes forward, and I really believe she can run into the money. She's my sneaker in this race.
Okay.
But you know, it is a handicap, Clyde, so it's a nightmare.
And so the penalty's around 24. There's no more rain, as I understand it, forecast for the rest of the day. So it'll be a good track, maybe a little bit of giving the ground, but as Daryl's just alluded to, Mark Stewart does seem to find them sometimes when the going does have that given it. Here's a pick six, everybody. Let's go. Darren Burrows is going like this. We're loading up in this pick six. That's the plan, to make sure, and we're trying all the way to the end, and we'll be hanging on to that number 4 Hunting Trip, hoping that that's the right one and we can get that home. Let's get on to the next. It's a 1400 meter in this particular event, and it's well, betting. Let me give you an idea as to where you guys are around this. It's jackpots. Port Louis top of the boards, 3-1 favourite for Brett Crawford. Justin's got this horse Start Phase trading at 7-2. Number 8 Quintus Light is 4-1, and then you've got the one Sundazed who's trading at 11-2. It's 10-1 and better about everything else. One of them being Gem King, who I'll give a bit of a chance to. Darren, you give Gem King any sort of claim?
That's my sneaker in the pack, Clyde.
Lovely.
He's actually my first choice in the race. Now, he ran in the Met. He finished 6 lengths off Jet Dark. Last time out, he didn't have much luck in running, and he didn't jump. He's got to jump on terms. At Durbanville, they go fast. You don't want to be left behind. Have a look at his run. 4 runs back. 2 lengths off Gimme a Prince over 1200. This horse can win just about any trip, and he's got enough pace to go with him over 14. So Gem King definitely value. Port Louis, now he won a good race last time out. He has gone up in the ratings. He carries 60 kilos. And Tour Fate ran 2 lengths off him, and he's 3 kilos better off, and he's a strong front runner. Others to consider: Sundays, Mr. Master Starter, Quintus Light, all got chances.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you like. Do you like Gem King?
In his latest few starts, he's lacking early interest, Clyde. You can't afford to do that at Durbanville. So I'd like to see him jump on terms, get himself into a striking position. And yes, he's certainly got the class, but that's a concern. He needs, you'll know your fate.
I wonder why you switched off. What do you think happened there? I mean, a trot of wins, and then, he went from an 89 to a 94 to a 98 to a 10. What is he now? 10,
Yeah.
104
I'll
or
tell you
something?
something. Yesterday I was feeling terrible myself. So horses have off days too, Clyde.
Sure. Yeah, but he's been off since June, so I mean, needs to,
He's had a few
needs to come. You can't. Anyway, let's hope he finds his best form.
Clyde, have a look at this horse, number 2, Mr. Master Starter.
Yeah.
His 2 most recent wins, he's gone start to finish on both occasions.
Right.
Look at his last couple of runs. Never in contention. From a 2 draw, you can't believe he's going to slot him beyond Sundays, because he's going to be given a chance early. If he goes forward, Clyde, this horse is going to run a much, much improved race. Keegan DeMello reunites with him, so I make him a player. Port Louis absolutely trotted up last time out. You have to respect him. Very little separating himself in number 7, Tour Fate, who actually Grant Van Ecke gets the best out of him. So I think it's a tricky and competitive lineup. A small lineup, but very competitive.
Mark Shetliff's got a very strong hand here in Gem King, Echo of Life, and Mr. Master Starter. Daryl's Mr. Master Starter is 14-1. Number 2, Darren Burrows' Gem King is at 10-1. So there's a swinger for you, or a double floater in the quartet. You never know. It may just work out. Anyway, I'll personally be backing Gem King. Let's have a look at what the boys want to do in the jackpots. We're going 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7. Then 1, 2, 3, 6, 10. Then 1, 4, 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the Daryl Marie Jackpot 1. We're going on to race number 5 now, everybody. Welcome back. Good to have you with us. And this is over the 1,600 meters. It's a Class 3 type race. And a reminder about our social media opportunity for those of you who are not on Twitter or are on Twitter and you're not following us. Please do. There's our handle, @Waited2Win, or join our 069 164 3272 number by sending your name and email address, and we can get that information to you as soon as possible. Okay, well, Lion's Head comes back into the play here, and, well, that's trading at 4-1. But Steinbeck's the one to beat if markets are in to go by, Darren. Priced up 28-10.
Well, Clyde, I found a bit of a shrewdy here. Even if for place money, it's decent odds. Keep it secret. Now, I watched this horse carefully. I've been waiting for his rating to drop down to a winning mark again, because back in March, he got a 7-point penalty for winning in PE. And it's taken time for his rating now to drop below that mark to an 87. Last time out when Piers Stradham rode him, he got trapped 3 or 4 deep around the bend, and there was no way he was going to win from there. He had Future Swing behind him that day, and he's around 6.5 kilos better off with Future Swing this time around. So if you're looking for a swinger bet, keep it secret, don't exclude him. I would include Future Swing because he is an improving horse. Lion's Head's not out of it. On that Grinkov run, he's actually got he's got them. He should be competitive with them. And Solar Power of the rest. I make it a very competitive race, but I thought Keep It Secret can run into the places.
Keep it secret, perhaps a bit of a shooter. Yeah, the Grinkov run does tell it all, because Darren's quite right. I mean, he finished in front of Future Swing, and Lionhead, there was a couple of lengths between all of them when he ran second to Grinkov on that occasion. So, interesting race. Daryl, your assessment?
Yeah, Clark, go back to that Grinkov run. I mean, Lion's Head beat Future Swing and is 6.5 kilograms better off. Sure, must put him right up there. Right trip, number one. I don't think the 1800's his optimum trip. I think the mile is. Although he's yet to win over the mile, Clyde, he's competitive over the 14 and the 1800. So in my mind, a mile is ideal.
Okay.
Jockey, draw, a lot is in his favour. Even that run to Solar Power is 4.5 kilograms better off, Clyde. So he's going to be my top pick. I have healthy respect for Solar Power, who obviously needed his first run as a gelding, and then he was very impressive last time out. But I think Lion's Head could possibly reverse that form or get closer. So not much between the two of them. And then Steinbeck. This horse has been very, very disappointing, Clyde. But if you watch his races, he quickens up well and then finds very little in the business end of the race. So maybe coming back in trip is going to suit him. So I'm going to say 1 in 10 to fight it out. The 3 being my third pick.
Yeah, the thing about Steinbeck, he was behind Royal Watch, and that was
Night Ruler came out
of there. All right, well, there are a couple of shrewdies in here, so let's put that up for you guys. We'll have a look and take put it into perspective. Darren's worked that second jackpot for us, and all the shrewdies are in there: 1, 3, 5, 6, 9, and 10. By 1, 2, 4, and 6. By 1, 3, 4, and 6. And as you know by now, Darren is quite big on the last one. A horse called Hunting Trip. We're back at Durbanville, Hollywood Bets Durbanville, lovely race course to be at. The vibe's always great. It's one of those boutique type race courses. If you've never been, it's a lovely place to go and enjoy racing. And, well, this is the Durbanville Cup. It's a listed event over 2,400 meters, where Silver Host number 4 on the card tops the boards at 28-10. One on the card is Master Redoubt, trade up at 5-1. Master Redoubt second choice. And then you've got the 2 Sensor Unico, who's in at 6-1. So there are a few with ability, even horse like Arctic Draft not out of it, priced up at 7-1 with chances. And interesting race. Let's go to Darren and start with you, Mr. Burrows, giving us an idea as to in what order you see them running.
Well, Claude, I'm strictly going on that last run behind Salvador Mundi. Now, we had Silver Host run 4th, Senso Unico run 3rd, and Master Redoubt ran 5th. Now, Master Redoubt is 6 kilos better off with both of them. Better off with Senso Unico and Silver Host, and he was right on top of them. So surely at the weight with only 54.5 kilos, you got to lean towards Master Redoubt strictly on the last run. I would include Silver Host because he was only having his second run back after over a year off the track. So Silver Host is having his peak run. And then Senso Unico should be competitive as well as the future is bright.
Yeah, that whole Western Cape Stayers race, sort of, they're all in there, aren't they? And they're all back.
Clyde, I mean, you have to believe that Master Reduce is going to start favourite on that run. There's no reason to believe that Silverhost should be favourite when he's 6 kilograms worse off. What is it, for half a neck beating? How well is Ryan Munger riding, Clyde?
Very well. Very
Yeah,
well.
sure.
Very confident.
Yeah, so he'll be given a nice, confident ride from a one draw. Should get the run of the race. So I think he will start favourite. But Darren's point out those form lines. He is on paper going to reverse the form with Silverhost and with Senso Unico. But then on paper, number 8, Arctic Drift, should reverse the form with Master Reduce, because he's 1.5 kilograms better off on that run for a short head beating.
Correct.
So
And that stable's so hot right now.
yeah, so 1
They
and
have been
8
for a long
look to
time.
be the right ones, but I like what Darren said with regards to Silverhost. He was off for a year. That run, second run after rest, was very close to his comeback run, and with Grant Funny kicking the irons, I think he's going to be he can't be left out. I know he's held at the weights, but he can't be left out. So for me, I'm going to say 1, 8 and 4 in that order.
Yeah. That's one of those races. They're decent horses in that they stay, they get the money. I'm not sure. I don't like it. It's a spaghetti type race for me, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if anything won, anything from top to bottom. But let's see. Take a look at what the selection is from our gentlemen here that do the studying for us. And Darren Burrows says, nah, Master Reduce is the one he's going for. The horse is priced up. Currently, there's value here based on the weights and turnaround and all that sort of stuff. But this morning when we did the show, this horse was 5-1. Move on to our next race on the card. Get some news from Darren Burrows about race number 7, where number 4, Love in Winters, 3-1 favourite. The 6, Tchaikovsky, second choice, 33-10. 1, Trivial Matter is trading at 7-2 at the moment. And number 3, Mufasa, who came back to some good winning form last time, is trading at 9-2. I'm not sure where you're drawing the line here, Darren.
Well, Clyde, how impressive has this horse Love in Winter been? Because he's won 4 out of 4. And when he beat Tchaikovsky in his penultimate start by a short head, today he is 6.5 kilos worse off. But he upped his game next time out in a stronger handicap, and he won again. So he's definitely on the up. He's won 2 out of 2 at Durbanville, so he has seen the course and distance. Tchaikovsky, he's got to come into the race with a big chance on collateral form with Love in Winter and Mufasa. Then Mufasa's got to go in. Trivial Matter's got to go in. So 4, 3, 6, and 1 in no particular order, though.
It's interesting. I mean, you know, these races that have come up, Class A, Class B, Class B stakes, Daryl, for horses 3 years and older with a net rating of 94 and below, they benchmark. So, for example, a 92 to a 94, 61.5 kilos, all the way down to something that's like a 74 to a 76, 52. So there's a benchmark from top to bottom. So that's, you know.
So have you got the winner?
So you guys, all that.
Can you ask
No,
us now?
what it means is guys like yourselves who analyze the form and start assessing, you know, the Bloombergs, all those guys that start figuring out how this works. The surgeons, I call them the surgeons in theatre.
Yeah.
What have you got as a result of this Class
I'm
B
going into
stakes?
theatre blindfolded over here, so good luck to the patient.
Good luck to the patient.
Yeah.
Correct. All right, talk to us.
Class B, B is the second hardest race to figure out.
Okay.
Clyde, I don't know. There's so much collateral form over here. Mufasa on paper looks to be held, but I think the race could pan out perfectly for him, Clyde. Trivial Matter and Rod the Mod on his inside have got a lot of pace.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Keegan Amello just gives him a chance. Those few early strides puts him into a perfect pouncing position, and I could see him confirm that form despite the weight turnarounds.
Yes.
My concern with Love in Winter, Clyde, is that stable is not firing. And Vaughan Marshall has made that clear to everyone. He's having a difficult time currently. They are going to bounce back to his best. He's a top trainer. Is this horse going to be 100% tuned up coming back from an 80-day rest? I don't believe so. So I'm playing to beat him. Would I be shocked to see him remain unbeaten? No. Elusive Trader lost time out with Richard Free in the irons. Balked the last 200 meters, desperately unlucky. So, tricky, Clyde. I don't know what to make of this race. I think Mufasa could get the run of the race and confirm that form, but it's wide open.
Yeah. When there's an anomaly like that, and Loving Winter's as good as it is, but the stable might be a little off at the moment, you're just not sure exactly. So maybe you've got to play it conservatively. Let's see. This is what the guys have decided to do, race number 7. They've got exactas, a recommendation of exactas for you. And Daryl suggesting that we go with 1, Trivial Matter, 3, Mufasa, and even the 5 was Elusive Trader. And Greg Enyon did say the other day he can't wait to get back to Durbanville. Final race on the card. This is a B Stakes, Cape B Stakes over 1250. Bright Future Cape B Stakes, and it's a 1250 meter. Hollywood Bets, of course, involved here as well. As we know, this event has got Darren Burrows' first choice. We've been talking about it throughout the show. A horse called Hunting Trip. Let's go to you, Darren, chat about why you like this horse so much and if it's worth us getting involved at 33-10 at the moment.
Clyde, I've always rated this filly. I think she's a top filly. And when she won a maiden at Durbanville by almost 4 lengths going away, I thought this filly could win next time out. And that's exactly what she did with 62 kilos, 3 runs back. She won with a ton in hand. Now, why she lost her last 2 starts is because they dropped her from the 1200 to the 1000. And that was too quick for her. She was beaten 4 lengths by Princess Keller in her penultimate over 1000. And last time out, half a length by distinction. The step up in trip is going to suit her down to the ground from a good draw. I see Corne Orfer has got the ride now, not Richard Foree. So take note of that. But I'm hoping that Hunting Trip can get it right over a horse like Shantastic that should be competitive.
Okay, you may well be right. It makes sense. The 5,000 or the 5 furlongs, whatever you want to call it. Perhaps too sharp. Would you agree with that?
Clyde, I think we're going to wrap up this preview just at that. I don't make it as clear-cut as Darren does. Darren's confident. I think it's tricky. Let's hope Hunting Trip can remain unbeaten at the track. But I think it's open.
Okay, Hunting Trip.
I don't want to put the viewers off.
You don't?
No.
But I mean, you've got to give us your first choice, though. I mean, if it's not Hunting Trip, who is your first choice?
What I can say is, Clyde, I know Richard Free's not riding, but he rode Distinction to victory last time out, and she won extremely well. He was willing to get off her to ride Hunting Trip, so that has to give you confidence in that she is the right one.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with Water State's latest turn of foot. The stable has come super well at the moment. I think I wouldn't be surprised to see her follow up, although she's held at the weights. Shantastic, I'll make a run of here. Queen of Sparta, unbeaten at this course. But you know what, Hunting Trip, Clyde, let's shout home for Darren's sake.
Yeah, let's shout it home. And I just had a quick look at the last run, the source of Hunting Trip's last start, where Distinction eventually got the better of Hunting Trip. And I think Darren may well be spot on here. Much better over 1,200 meters and is the horse to beat. Let's have a look at what we want to do now for the last time today. We are in Darren's corner and we'll be shouting Pierre Corne Orfer home for Justin Snaith on Hunting Trip.